Alright guys, so welcome to the first ever episode of Men's Forum. This has been something that's been a very, very long time coming, and because I've had a little bit of experience in, the field of photography, videography and vlogging, I decided let me help Shaleen out over here by leading the first ever episode, because this is the first time you're doing a podcast.
Yeah, this is my first time doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Probably in my dreams once, but in reality doing my first time behind a camera. Yeah, like on one-on-one.
So wait, what do you mean? You've had like podcasts
within my head? Yes, within my head, yes.
So you've just been like practicing and stuff?
Yeah, or probably it's more of when you're having conversations with your friends and all of a sudden it feels like you're in a podcast. Now this YouTube chaps do it.
Yeah,
guys on Instagram
like, man, I wish this conversation is being recorded.
Yeah, true.
And we've had that moment so many times.
Had so many healthy conversations where like, oh shit, we should have recorded that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we like, have you read this book? And then there's a quote here and then you're like, you keep expounding on it, keep going further.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, so far so good. I'm glad that you made it an initiative to, bring this up.
No,
get it out of the chat.
You brought this up. I mean, like, I remember I think I just got out of the shower and then I got a call from you. Dude, we need to do a podcast.
Yeah, let's start something.
Yeah, let's start something. And I'm like, I've been thinking the same. And then you said that you want to talk about like men's mental health and, can navigate. Yeah, how men can navigate through life. Like a lot of men out there go through life just thinking that, they need to go through it alone. So then this podcast hopefully should help a lot of men out there.
True.
Yeah.
I think if you remember, we had spoken about this. The men's forum had started out of a drinking session from 3 people. So there's a restaurant at Surrey Center. I won't mention the name. So we'd sit there once in a month or probably once in a quarter. We're just 3 of us. So we started off by we drink, we talk about our feelings. So all of a sudden, because we got tipsy, we're all now talking about our feelings. So one person initiated problems about what they're going through in life, and then the other person, mainly being like financial or relationships or like deeper levels of conversations. And it was so good because 2 people were opening up, automatically triggered me to open up and speak about, hey, I'm going through XYZ in life. And it just made it so much better. Like after having the whole conversation, I felt that it wasn't necessarily therapy, but just talking about your problems helps you.
Yeah.
And then from 3, we became 12, hanging out with so many people. And now we're all part of the circle and we all meet, we all hang out. So yeah, it's been great. And then, when I gave you a call that day and I'm like, hey, let's do this. And I think you can explain more on the 4 pillars that we discussed.
There's one thing that we've not done because, this is our first podcast, so...
Oh, we've not introduced each other?
You've not introduced yourself. I said I'm Rajveer, sorry. I'm like, this is Shaleen.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, that will keep them curious. Who's this guy? So I'm Shaleen Shah. Rajveer and I are very good friends. Not just friends. I think we are brothers. Brothers from...
You think?
Yeah, not think.
You think?
No, fuck. We are brothers.
We are brothers from other mothers.
Yeah. I think our friendship. How did we meet?
Wow. I feel like our friendship is a very unique story that it goes back a long number of years.
Yeah.
And then, but the crazy thing is, we got close like over the course of the last 2 years.
Last 2 years, yes.
Yeah. So when we met, we actually met at a club.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't remember?
My memory is the museum, the railway museum. That is my memory.
Oh, that's your memory.
And that friend of ours, Kiloni.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first time we met, I think because it was a lot in passing. We were introduced by I think one of our mutual friends. I don't know, in my mind I was just like, this guy seems pretty cool. Then the second time we met was when I was shooting. This was like when I was starting out my vlogging career, and I was like, okay, how can I make videos about Nairobi? Yeah. There was this Instagram meet and shoot type of thing.
Yeah, it was called The Pursuit of Happiness.
No, Pursuit of Portraits.
Oh, sorry, not Happiness is a movie.
Yeah, we met there, and like you were super excited. You were like, dude, I've seen your photography and stuff. Can you take a couple of pictures of me? And then I did, and then I sent them to you, and I was shooting with my phone.
I remember.
Yeah, yes. And I remember like the way you really hyped me up when you saw the photos, and then from there we started talking here and there. Then we met through Kiloni.
Yeah. When we were my mama for dinner.
Yes. So I was filming videos for her to she was marketing her business, and I was filming videos for her. We became friends, and then she was like, "Do you wanna hang out? Like I'm hanging out with a couple of my friends, and I'd love for you to be there." And I was like, "Okay, bet, I'm down." And then you were there. I'm like, I know this dude. Yeah. So that was a whole number of years ago. Then we didn't speak much, but the times we met, I was usually like trying to start business ventures, and you were always there for me. Like you were always finding ways to support that stuff.
I think you had started a branding business, right? And then
No. We were selling water.
Yeah, like branded bottles. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
water
yes,
bottles.
yes.
Yeah, and then you got me like this really huge
deal.
deal, and I was like,
even I wasn't aware that I got you when you mentioned it when we met like properly after this. The past 2 years you mentioned. Do you remember you got me a deal? I'm like, really? I don't even remember. I'm like, okay, good for you.
Yeah. And then I was going through some. I don't know. It was so weird. Like in 2022, I was going through some personal stuff in my life, and then you sent me a random message. You're like, Jinal and I. So Jinal is your your wife,
yes,
the love of your life. Jinal and I are at Captain's Terrace.
Yes,
that's
Captain's Terrace. Yeah.
Do you want to come and hang out?
True.
And I was like, yeah, let's hang out. And then from there, like our whole friendship just started building until your engagement.
Oh, that's the night where you drove the car up to Ankole and you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So guys, this guy, he's driving is the worst.
No, it's better now. It's better.
No,
I grew up out
you
of it.
drive.
No, it's better.
Like you're gonna kill someone. So I'm meeting this guy after years, and you were driving Jinal's car, and I'm like, I don't care whose car this is. Get out! I'm driving it. And I drove myself back home, and then you drove yourself back to your place.
But you don't buy a fast car to drive slow, right?
I don't know. You guys could let us know, like in the comments or something, if brother, no, drive slow, man. Yeah. So then, building up to your engagement around it was in 2020
last year, yes.
Yeah. So then you invited me for the proposal, which I couldn't make for because I was going broke because I was building Shraddha House. That's an entire different story for another podcast. But we started meeting up more often when we were doing dance practice.
Yeah.
For
the engagement.
Yeah.
And then the circle became bigger. Then
the circle became bigger, and then we started hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
And then like we just got into like really deep talks. We were always just talking about self-improvement.
Yeah.
And like that really resonated with me. I'm like, okay, so this guy's like really into self-improvement and stuff. True. And then here we are now. Yeah, on the podcast.
So I think what we look forward to in the future with our podcast and our conversations, what you're going to expect in the future podcast is going to be mental health, finances or finance management, fitness journeys, fitness tips. We're going to talk about meditation, which Rajwe is an expert in. He's teaching me. I'm still trying my best to do it. Manifesting, right, which has worked for both of us, and a lot of deeper things that I think a lot of men need direction in life with. And personally, we come from very humble beginnings, rough journeys. Long story short, we've experienced so much in life that has kept us humble. We stand ground. We've understood that we need to respect people in life that we come across, and also appreciate things that are around us.
Yeah.
We're practicing being grateful, something that I learned from you every morning. But yeah, there's so much to talk about.
There is a lot
to talk about. Yeah.
I guess in a nutshell, we're basically going to talk about our journeys, and hopefully in the future we're going to start bringing people on board to talk about their journeys. We kind of want to create a safe space for men to come and see that they're not alone in this world. Like I mentioned at the start of this episode, is that there's so many men out there who, and I was one of those in 2022. Like, you know, I was going through stuff alone, and all I could do was watch YouTube videos, which are all just broken apart, and I couldn't really find tangible information until we sat down and, you know, built our relationship and spoke about these things. So there's a lot of men out there who don't have, you know, the self-esteem or the confidence to kind of reach out to other men and talk about their problems. So this podcast is something to hopefully bridge that gap, so that you guys know you're not alone, and you can find solutions to, you know, work through what you're going through. So with that, hey, our first podcast is done. And we're excited to see you in the next one. All right. Cheers.